Assalamualaikum. So this is topic 6 for UED 102, taking lecture notes. Okay, why we need to take lecture notes? Okay, although the lecturer already gave you the lecture notes, okay, but still during the lecture session you need to take notes. Okay, why? Okay, why? Why we need to take lecture notes? We already have it. Okay, so about only 10% of an audio lecture may last in memory, but students who take and review their notes can recall about 80% of a lecture. So even though you already have the notes, the slide, and so on, but during the lecture session, try to write it down. Sometimes the lecturer may add the explanation, may add the example, so you want to take note what the lecturer informed during the lecture session. Okay, so research suggests that physical writing activates regions of the brain that involve thinking, language, and working memory. So it will help your brain when you keep on writing. Okay, so it will help your brains to actively thinking about the lecture. So, we take lecture notes because it can provide an accurate record of information that was presented in class, okay, by having all this information. For example, examples that given by the lecturer, the explanation, and so on, helps you learn and remember the information because you actively scribble or note down the information, okay, helps you to organize the information. So sometimes when you read the information, the notes, okay, you might not really understand or comprehend what is all about, the main idea behind the notes, okay. But when you take notes, okay, during the lecture session, so you can actually organize, okay, you will try to add a little bit lah, okay. Promotes active listening by helping you concentrate on the lecture. So of course, when you want to write down the lecture note, we don't copy word by word what the lecturer said. Okay, so you listen, and then you write down what you understand from what the lecturer said during the class. Okay? So how to take the lecture notes? Okay, first we need to do some preparation before you taking the lecture notes. Okay, the best way to prepare your note-taking activity is to read the text assignment before class. Meaning that before you go to class, before you attend the class, before you enter the lecture hall, you read the notes first. Okay, let's say that your lecturer gave you the notes, okay, the slides. So maybe for the next week, okay, the lecturer said that okay, we're going to study this, okay, this topic, okay, this chapter, okay. So you read first, okay. When you read first, you are able to understand a little bit lah, okay. So when you enter the lecture hall, when you you listen to the lecture session, you will understand it further, okay. By reading the text assignment before the lecture, it will help you to build up the background about the topic. Okay, at least you familiar a little bit, okay, about the topic. Have some idea about the lecture, what the lecture is about. Okay, identify main ideas of the lecture so you know what your lecturer is going to teach about. Actually, a little bit about the concept. Okay, the idea, the main idea. Okay. And be familiar with the key terms and the names related to the topic. Okay, at least you adalah baca sikit so that you heard about this, okay, from your reading. You can recall a little bit about what your lecturer is teaching from your reading. Okay, so even though you don't understand actually what you read earlier, maybe when you listen to your lecture session, so that okay, now I understand what I've read earlier. Okay. So as you walk into the lecture classroom, get ready to take notes. Okay, sitting in front of the classroom allows you to see and hear better. So always always sit in front of the classroom. So you can see clearly and you can focus on the lecture session. Kalau macam you duduk belakang-belakang, usually macam when you want to focus on in front for your lecturer, sometimes you accidentally focus on other people macam tu lah. That's why you want to sit in front. Okay, you will probably find that other interested and motivated students also tend to sit in the first few rows of the class. Okay, so while waiting for the class to begin, you can review the notes, okay, before the class start. Okay. So, how to become an active listener? Okay, read the text assignment before the lecturer to put the background. Okay, review your last set of lecture notes before the lecture begins. Means that when you write, you read the lecture notes. Okay, you take note. Okay, so before your lecturer come, and then you already review what you have done. Okay, so sit in the lecturer's line of vision so that the lecturer can see you. So it will be easier for you to ask questions to the lecturer if you don't understand. Okay, decide what you want to listen. Okay, so listen, hear properly. Okay, focus your attention physically by sitting up and making eye contact with the speaker. So try to make eye contact with your lecturer. Okay, so that if you kind of lost or you don't understand, so that lecturer can identify that you don't understand, so he or she can ask you lah, okay, and or you can ask the question to the lecturer. Focus your attention mentally by eliminating or avoiding distraction. Try to avoid other distraction, other thing. Do not think about anything about the lecture beside than the what's been taught by the lecturer lah. Jangan fikir benda lain lah. Listen with an open mind. Setting aside your own bias. Okay, try to be open-minded. Meaning that accept all the information given by the lecturer. If you have any question that you don't really understand about the lecture session, so you can ask. Okay, control your emotional response. Sometimes you might disagree with the lecturer, so try to control your emotion. Okay, listen to the main points and related details and take notes. Okay, ask and answer question. When the lecturer asks the question, you should try to answer it, because it doesn't matter if your answer is wrong. Okay, because when you are wrong, the lecturer can correct you, so you know that, oh, you misunderstood about the information, so at least now, okay, you do understand. Okay, so that's why you have to be active lah in class. Okay, monitor your listening, check your with lecturers or a classmate at the end of the lecture if you are unsure of some of the information. If there are some information you misunderstand, you're not really clear about the information, you can ask your friend or you can ask your lecturer lah. Okay. Effective note-taking system. So we use the Cornell note-taking, one of the system that when we take notes, we can use the Cornell note-taking system. Okay, this Cornell note-taking system has an excellent format. Okay, for setting out your note page. Okay, so by using a 8.5 by 11-inch notebook, okay, it has a recall or Q column and a summary column at the end. So basically it looks like this. Okay, this is the Cornell method. So here is the note. So mean that, okay, when you see the A4 paper, okay, so you divide it by 3 parts. Okay, the first part is for the notes. Okay, so you jot down all the notes here. This column, the column number 2, is the Q, where you write down the question, the main points, the visual clues and other clues that jog your memory go here. Okay, fill the section in after class. Okay, so you can fill the question after class. Okay, and this is the summary. Okay, the most important point and main idea, you write it down here, fill in the section after class when you are in the reviewing process. Okay, so here you should, in the notes here, you should use the bullets. Yes, of course, shorthand, sentences, short sentences, numbering, and so on. Okay, it's up to you lah. Okay, so it looks like this. It doesn't matter how big is your notebook. Okay, but it looks like this. Okay, so this is the Q columns. This is the note-taking area. Okay, so this is the summary. Okay. So in during class, you will write it here at this column. Okay, and then after class, you can write down the Q column. Q column is from your understanding about the note taking here, so that by reviewing the Q column, you will be understand more about the notes here. So this is the summary. You summarize after you understand everything. Okay. Okay, the corner note talking. So the notes column is the main lecture notes here. Okay, use concise sentences. Okay, use abbreviation, shorthand list. Okay, put on the point form lah during the class. Okay. The Q column, they're also the main idea. Okay, questions that connect to the points. Okay, you can also draw the diagrams. Okay, when to do it if after class lah, right after class. Okay, mean that during the day. Okay, so during when you do the review. Okay, and here we have the summary column. Okay, for top level is the main idea. Okay, so you summarize the main idea, the important ideas, use as a quick references. So mean that when you review the summary, you actually understand the whole topic here. Okay, so when you want to do this, is after class. Okay, during the review. Okay, it is best if you can do this during the day. Okay, mean that if you have the lecture session in the morning, so by afternoon or night time you should already fulfill or include here those two parts. Okay, because you don't want to leave it until a week, a month baru nak isi kat sini, you will forget everything about here. Okay, so this is the example. Okay, so here we have the example juga, okay, the informal outline here, how they outlined it here. Sama juga the block method here. Okay, so this is the point, and then they bagi dash 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 the information here. So this is the modified block method here. So how you're going to fill it, write it is up to you. Okay, as long as you understand which is macam it's easier for you lah. You know, you are the one who know which type is the best for you. Okay, this is example. This is also example. This is the mind mapping. Okay, you can also do the mind mapping. Okay, after you want to review, when you want to study, when you finish doing the mind mapping, so it's so colorful. So you love watching it. So you can paste it on the wall so that whenever you see it, you will read about it and you will remember it. Okay. So this is the additional tips. Okay, the strategy for taking lecture notes. Okay. And reviewing notes. How to review the notes? Okay, from the lecture taking. First, you can reset from the headings. Okay, by reading the headlines. Okay, reset from the recall questions. Okay, so when you review, so you write down the questions to help you to recall. Okay, when you're able to answer the questions, so I mean that you remember and you understand about the notes, what you've read, and talk about the information with others. So of course, to enhance your understanding, to make you remember it, is best if you can talk about the information about the topic with your friends. Okay, change the information with your friends. Okay, so for the study skills e-portfolio from this topic, okay, we have one here. From appendix 11. So write down the appendix 11. You can find the appendix 11. Try to answer the question and then calculate your score. And then the second one is where you need to do note-taking exercise using the corner method. Means that you try to do the corner method where you will divide it into three parts tadi itu. Okay, for the content you can use any chapters from any subject for your note-taking. Okay, so means that let's say that this week you learn MGT 162 for chapter 2. Kan, so maybe for this topic kan, untuk note taking ni, okay, maybe chapter 2 is about for example benefits of planning. So maybe you want to take notes about the benefit of planning. Okay, so any chapters you can do. Okay, not necessarily that you have to do many chapters or the whole chapters. Maybe one title or one topic is enough. Okay, so that's it for this topic. And I see you in the next topic. Thank you.